guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're back with the Lizardmen, going to be facing up against the Tomb Kings, yes indeed. So some of you may have seen recently I submitted a replay to Heir of Carthage, myself playing against Pharaoh Olwar, and we did a Tomb Kings versus Lizardmen game where Cetra and his squad were able to put down Krokar on Grimlock and Scar Veteran, also on a Carnosaur. So I figured I'd bring you guys this battle to show you kind of what I think the Lizardmen should bring in this matchup. This build isn't ideal, and we'll kind of talk through some things that I think could optimize it a little bit better. But let's go ahead and get started. So we do still have Krokar, except this time we've just got him on a horned one. That way he's a smaller target, it's a bit cheaper. He still has got that heavy AP anti-large. We've also got a Revivification Crystal for healing, a front line of 2 Saurus Warriors with shields, and 2 Temple Guards. These guys are going to be very, very good against the Tomb Kings. They'll pretty much kill all Tomb Kings infantry, and obviously they're going to be very good against the constructs. The main weakness here is they're only 85 armor, means they'll get torn up by missiles pretty easily, especially if they get hit by like the armor sundering effect, or Shopti Great Bows, for example, will do a lot of damage to them. So it's potentially risky. We've also got 2 Laser Lizards, the solar engines here. They do flaming damage, and they also have the blind effect, which, as you guys know, is 26 melee attack, 27 melee defense. It's also what Cetra's sword has, so it's the same effect on the Laser Lizard here. It also does flaming and magic damage, so it's going to be very good at sniping out Tomb King's characters, because, as you know, they are weak to fire damage. We've also got a Skink Priest, Lore of Heavens up here. He's got Wind Blast and Harmonic Convergence for that melee attack and defense buff, and the disruption to low armor infantry. We've also got a Skink Chief for that extra cold-blooded and poisoned missiles, 4 Skink cohorts with javelins, and yeah, that's pretty much it. My opponent is Janet on Occasion, who also has a Total War YouTube channel, so definitely go check him out. I'll have a link to his description in the channel down below. You guys definitely head his way, toss him a subscribe. He does multiplayer as well, very good player. So he's got Cetra on a horse. Of course, he's got anti-large armor piercing. Let's go ahead and look at the abilities. He's got the Blessed Blade of Ptra, which is the sword that he can carry. I guess it's more of a halberd, but it gives that blind effect as well and fire damage. He's got the Wrath of Ptra, that's the explosion he has. It does fire and magic damage, whereas the Verminous Valor, for example, or the Swiftness of Itzel doesn't actually do damage. This one does, but it is limited, only has 3 charges. We've also got a few spells here. The big AoE debuff spell, Incantation of Desiccation. We've also got the Incantation of the Cursed Blades, and that's pretty much it. Looks like he's also brought the other item here, the Crown of Nehekara, which is a huge weapon strength and charge bonus buff, a massive area of effect. He's also got the Undying Will, which is the upgraded version of My Will Be Done that Cetra has. It has a larger area of effect, and of course Restless Dead lore attribute. In terms of infantry, we've got Nehekar warriors, a couple of Tomb Guard with halberds, a firing line of 2 skeleton archers, and the Blessed Legion, and a Necrosphinx. In fact, the Regiment of Renown Necrosphinx, the Sphinx of Usek, and also 2 units of Carrion, who are currently trying to inundate my heroes on Pterodons, but we've parked them right over top the MLG Skink cohorts with javelins. They're going to be firing their javelins up into these nasty, haggard-looking dead birds and knocking them out of the sky. So, nice bait early on, and the Necrosphinx is charged straight through, trying to get on the Revivification Crystal, which is a very good target. Unfortunately, he is going to be singled out here. Krokar's in a dangerous situation. He can definitely take a ton of damage from the Necrosphinx, but being on the horned one makes him a smaller target, and he still has that anti-large armor piercing, so he'll be able to dish some damage back, most certainly. You can see we've got the Laser Lizards trying to fire in on Cetra here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit close, and this Laser Lizard is in fact parked right within the firing line. You can see these skeleton archers unloading on him, and although even sundered armor, he still has 110. And, you know, the volume of fire is definitely adding up, and even though the skeleton archers don't have great AP, they'll be able to do some damage over a sustained amount of time. The Tomb Guard, though, are just being destroyed by the Temple Guard in this combat of shielded halberd units. The only 2 shielded halberd units in the game. The Temple Guard are definitely a better unit all around. More armor, better stats, more expensive as well, obviously, but You can see in the back, Krokkar's getting just ransacked by this this Necrosphinx here. He has managed to do quite a bit of damage, over 50% HP damage, but he's taken a ton of damage himself and actually is routed off, unfortunately. We did pop the Revivification Crystal to try and heal back some of his HP, or not quite yet, but we will be shortly. Nehekar Horseman, or Skeleton Horseman rather, also turning the flank here. You can see he's mopped up the 2 units of Skinks on this side. The Laser Lizard also unfortunately routed off due to the heavy firing line here, and I unfortunately have had to pull these Temple Guard back, leaving the Tomb Guard kind of by themselves here. We're trying to pull back and get on this Necrosphinx. You can see I've dispatched both my Temple Guard to make a bit of a retreat here. The Solar Engine is now, the other Solar Engine is getting opened up on by the Legion of Archers here, and Cetra himself has been smacking it around a little bit with his halberd. So it's not too happy. It's wavering a little bit, and what should we call these guys? I guess this could be Paul, and this can be George, and this one obviously is Gary, right? Revivification Crystal's got to be Gary, but Gary's still getting chased down by this Necrosphinx here, just really not too happy about life. We did just drop the Harmonic Convergence on there, though, giving him nice combat stats, so maybe he'll be able to do a little bit of damage back to the Necrosphinx. It's doubtful, but I was at least hoping for the higher melee defense, preventing some of that damage there. And the Skink Chief is also applying that poison. You can see Hand of the Gods coming in, doing some nice damage. We have rallied Krokkar in the back, tossed Cold-Blooded, as well as the Revivification Crystal to help heal him up. The Nehekar Horsemen, or Skeleton Horsemen rather, are trying to hold things off in the back. We've got more Skeleton Horsemen here, going to be getting on that Solar Engine. In the mainline engagement, the Saurus are holding up admirably. They're definitely getting cut down by these summoned Ushabti here, who have now been pulled up as the 3rd tier of Realm of Souls has procced. So very nice play by Janet on occasion, going to be busting up that whole blob. But this Laser Lizard did come back from routing, getting some nice shots into Cetra, the ever flammable here. And yeah, very, very cool cinematic shot as the Tomb Kings just roll through the desert over these poor lizard men here. And yeah, come on, Paul, let's get a shot in there. And right on the money, gets a shot right on Cetra's face. Meanwhile, in the back, Krokkar and his buddies have managed to finish off the Necrosphinx. So yeah, it's dead over there. The Temple Guard came back, managed to pin it down with the help of Gary, the Revivification Crystal, and we're able to take it out. Skink Priest, Lord of Heavens, also being very clutch there. You can see we've pretty much got Krokkar healed almost to his healing cap from how low he was earlier. Unfortunately, the Ushabti are going to be finishing off George over here, so poor George goes down. Paul and Gary are still going strong, though. I say Paul is still going strong. Poor Paul over here is not too happy about life. His leadership is somewhat stable, but the only units he really has to worry about here are the Tomb Guard and Cetra, which obviously Cetra is going to be a big danger. But we have reformed ranks with the Temple Guard. Going to be charging forward, getting into these Tomb Guard here, and just trying to push through to the second line. So we'll go ahead and watch as these two lines clash here in the desert with the beautiful Nehekaran ruins in the background. Man, Warhammer's such a beautiful game. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love it. But you can see it looks like we've got some Incantation of Cursed Blades being dropped on those Tomb Guards, trying to proc that healing each time you cast a spell, obviously, with the lore of Nehekara. And you can see the Tomb Guard over here going to be finishing off Paul. His leadership is not holding up, and Cetra, combined with these Skeleton Horsemen and the Tomb Guard, have been able to finish him off. Some of these Saurus are enraged by this and going to be charging over here into combat. But Gary's still alive back here. He's definitely going to have to be careful, though. This kind of death ball here of Cetra and the Horsemen and everything is pretty scary. That being said, the Temple Guard should be able to hold out. One unit's routed, but the other unit is still here, and we're going to be dispatching them to go deal with the Goon Squad. They're very tired. You can see they're really slow right now. But they still got the Revivification Crystal being cast on them. They're getting that nice healing, so should be able to hold things together. So yeah, you can see the balance of power slightly in my favor right now. Things are still pretty close, though. Definitely still in range for the Tomb Kings, possibly. Especially with Cetra being still as healthy as he is. He is going to be riding down what's left of these Saurus warriors here. The Temple Guard are slowly trudging forward, trying to get on him. But Skink Chief still got some ammo. They did nerf the Skink Chief's ammo, but he still has, I think, 84 or 85. You can see that unit of skeletons pops there. This unit of skeleton archers is going to pop, and pretty soon this unit is going to pop as well. So with the skeleton archers out of the fight, that's going to severely hit the balance of power for the Tomb Kings. It's going to stack more and more in my favor. The Temple Guard have been able to catch the Goon Squad here, getting rear charged, unfortunately, by Skeleton Horsemen, but, I mean, they're just Skeleton Horsemen. And as cool as they look, they're not going to be able to stand up to these Temple Guard here. You can see Cetra's also fighting in here. Really not terribly happy about the situation. He's going to take quite a bit of damage from Temple Guard, so all things considered, it's a rough engagement. They are doing some damage here, but it's pretty much GG at this point. You can see the balance of power is fairly heavily in my favor. This one unit of skeleton archers is crumbling, and yeah, we're just trying to wrap things up now. These Temple Guard are just fighting in this dense pocket here, so we'll go ahead and take in some of this cinematic action as they fight away. And Cetra swings his halberd around here, going to be getting some nice shots, felling some of them, but yeah, the Skink Priest and the Skink Chief are coming in. We're rolling in here with Krokar as well. He's going to get in here and show Cetra the business, give him a little taste of the hand of the gods there. And there, down he goes. So very cool battle. Well played to Janet on occasion. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. It's a build that I think is pretty decent against the Tomb Kings. I mean, obviously you could optimize a few things better. But yeah, overall did very, very well. Krokar, 42 kills, was able to help take down that Necrosphinx. Having him survive, I think, was the clutch part of the battle. If Krokar had died there, I would have probably lost. But I was able to, screen out and get the Necrosphinx onto another target, and Krokar managed to come back from routing and get healed up, which is, obviously the danger of Krokar is that if he does get away, he can heal up and come back. So the Skink Chief and the Skink Priest were both clutch in that particular play. The Skink Chief, 41 kills, 84 on the Skink Priest Lord of Heavens. Got a few good Wind Blasts there that I failed to catch, but also got some decent kills on these Saurus Warriors. 2 XP Chevrons on 118 kills on this Temple Guard here. They did very well for themselves. And the Skink Cohorts with Javelins, they helped clean up the carrion there. Kind of screened out. They did get mopped up pretty badly by the Skeleton Horsemen and so on, but it's a bit of give and take. Revivification Crystal, obviously the healing was clutch there. And Gary and Paul, I believe this one was on the right side, so that would have been Paul, and this is George. Sorry, this is Gary. But Paul and George here. George, 36 kills, no XP Chevron, but Paul managed to get a Chevron from getting a few solid hits on Cetra, so well played to both of them. In terms of Janet on occasion, the Nekar Warriors actually did it very decently where they were matched up against Skinks. The Tomb Guard kind of got beat down by Temple Guard a little bit there. They were able to get some okay work done, especially against, the Bastillodons. But let's see, the Skeleton Archers also did a very good job of helping clean up those Bastillodons. I do like the pick of the Skeleton Horsemen here to help run down Skink Skirmishers and so on. The Carrion, they're only 350 points, so I kind of see the same idea. But the Necrosphinx almost got its job done of killing Krokar, but if he had been able to do that, then he could have potentially brought that Necrosphinx back and use it to recharge the Temple Guard and so on. And if the Temple Guard are fixed from one side and they get charged in the back by the Necrosphinx, it'll do a lot of damage. You obviously just don't want to charge them straight in. But yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting matchup. I do think that it's one of the more kind of heavy-duty matchups. You got the dinosaurs and the constructs all fighting each other, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see how things shake out. So hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.